Anyhow, before the lies continue and they continue to bribe the wrong people to keep up with identity theft problems, I suggest you you stay awake, stay alert, stay very alert because even the people telling the lies, if it was never their child, what is it to them? Exactly. Most of the kids grew up in the Middle East. The other ones they covered up somewhere else, living a good life, or the other ones they switched out, living someone else's life, and not the life that they would have lived if they were with them. But don't fall victim of things like this, you know. And then you have the parents that they've made to feel comfortable with the situation, so they're not as eager because they confuse them with, oh, we can do this for you, oh, we have a better person. All of them are all washed up, bleached up people. And they haven't looking, oh, with the best surgeons, you can make anybody look any type of way. So this is all the money they spend to keep up with the lies that someone else started a long time ago when, according to them, it was a cherry fence, and then someone fell, and then someone woke up, and someone forgot whatever their stories are, and then the other ones left someone behind, or the other ones did not leave the other one behind, and then one picked up the other person, and it is. Ooh. But background check, thanks to Tracy, background checks, they're still trying to figure out what happened, what is going on here, who is this? Because the family members are not acting like family members. The number ones are not acting normal. What is going on? And me, in the middle of this whole Tracy stuff, I'm like, I don't even know what's going on. I know that all they care about is where you grew up. Nothing else matters. They want to know the because if you grew up there, that's basically where you're from. Well, where you're from, or if not bloodline or blood related, it's kind of where you grew up. So I want to know if you're not blood relation of the place you came from, because people that colonized Africa, but most of them were not Africans too. You still have the apartheid people still living in South Africa, and they can never claim black blood because they're not black. But if you ask them where they're from South Africa. Actually, that's where they came from to come to your country. So where did we give you visa to come from? You gave the person visa from where they're at, and that's where they're from, and that's what you're tracing to. You're tracing it to where the visa was issued. You're tracing it to where the initial contact was made. And that's what you do. And everybody at the place, the house, or the different places they've been to and friends they made said that's the person. Now the fake family, the actual people that raised the child, but pretending like, oh, because they bribed them because of the stock issues they having, to pretend like, oh, the fake child is your child because there's a big stock investment money they want to claim using the fake person. So they're keeping up with the lies. Like, oh, we're gonna give you more money to just lie. What they're giving them is peanut. Okay? Peanut compared to what they get eventually. Because if anybody agrees to pay you any money, calculate it by like just don't calculate it because it's a peanut, a little fraction of the actual thing, right? So they give it to you to keep your mouth shut. But those ones are like, we need a fraction, we don't even have anything. That's a lie. They have something. They have something to the extent where I know there is no, okay, need would be, oh my god, you have nothing. And if you, come on now, if you raised me, if I was in a house with you, if I lived with you, I should know that there's no desperation. Because if you wanted to do the right thing, you would have done the right thing. Maybe you wouldn't have taken the fraction they're giving you, but at least you wouldn't have done something wrong as far as lying that the child you raised is not the child you raised. Because someone else is lying to keep up with the lie, paying you to keep up with the lie. Creating a problem for Tracy because Tracy is tracing it to the very first contact place. That's where they issue their visa, that's where they issue the information, that's where all the information leads them to. Then you take a bribe, put it in your pocket, and have the audacity to tell them that where they issued a document is not where they issued the document. Like, but then again, they know they've been watching the same person for years since the person got here. because you think, oh, they stop watching, and then they keep up with the information, and they keep up because of things like this, right? Identity theft. So they keep up with the information, and they know who you are. They know where you went. They know all these things, and then if you join the military, it's even worse because now they're watching you closely. So after all this that they know, you're making them look crazy, and they know they're not crazy, but you take a bribe and put it in your pocket, and you're telling lies. You're driving them wild because they know the difference. So this is what the issue has been, and then we're arguing. Apart from the one that said I'll look into it again, which if she was trying to do anybody a favor, she would have trusted the people that did it the first time and said they were good. But you said they were not good. So you're saying you're questioning their job? Now they're gonna make you go through it with them. First time. Now they're bringing up more people, they're doing all this stuff, and they're still correct. So initially you challenged them, they didn't do a good job, you want to dig up more things. I say you do it yourself, you're not going to give the citizenship card. And they say, excuse me, did you just challenge us of our intelligence and all our CIAs and all the systems that we have that we don't know what we're doing? We're going to make you go through it step by step so you can see that they do their job. And they have proven it time and time again that they do their jobs and they do it well. Because everybody that knows the person is saying the same thing. But the only people that is dumb enough to actually take a bribe and lie about a child they raised that is not their child, knowing that they're dealing with actual investigation system, they're the dumb people, because they should know that they're the people confusing them, because everybody else that knows the person, they can tell when you're lying, so they know when you recognize someone you recognize. Everybody's saying, this is the person, this is the person, this is the person, this is the person. From every single institution, school, blah, 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 club, church. And you are the only person saying this, so they're like, what is going on? I thought it's not fair for Tracy to keep up with the crazy ideas. And let Tracy know that you collected the bribe, and you're not the one speaking from your right senses, because the bribe is reason. And you might, while collecting bribe is not the most amazing, glorious, honorable thing to do on earth, they can also say there's an influence. There's an influence, there's something coercing you, there's something forcing you to say the opposite of what you would have said. Because you would have told the truth, but because of hardship, maybe not hardship, or maybe there's hardship, or whatever reasons you have why you collected the money, you took it and you kept up with the lies. And then you leave the child that you raised to suffer this whole thing because you don't want to clear her like she's suffering and you're collecting bribe and thinking you're on vacation. That is wrong. And they're not happy. Tracy's not happy with it because they know they're doing their job right, and they've cleaned. There's nobody else to even bring to verify this because they verified everybody, and you're still keeping up with the lie. Like, you raised this child, but you don't mind what she's going through, just so you can collect more bribe and keep up with the lie. I found out that there could be two brothers dealing with each other in this case. So one brother is covering up that another brother's child is not the child because there's another fake child he's using to pretend. So he has a stock problem, but didn't know he was having a stock problem with his niece. Then the stock problem grew into something else. Now there's a brother and brother. My child is the one going through hell. The other one that's trying to cover up your stock problems and issues. Now, what happens to my child that is going through hell for the background checks that you're screwing up for her because of your identity theft problem, that you're bribing the family that raised her to keep up with the lie, but you cannot explain to your brother that you didn't know how you got in the middle of it because someone else started it and you walk right into it and you feel stuck. And now, with you and the other stuck, they're very smart people. They're like, we give you money, or we give you money. Who is the real person? And all the real people are saying, you have the wrong person. Clean up this mess and tell the truth.